But speaking of the draft, let's get into our mock draft. We can jump to this battle rap real quick.
Let's do it.
All right, so I need to share my screen again. We did the first 4 picks. So if you are just now joining the show for the first time, what we're doing is there's 7 weeks until the NFL draft, if my math is right. If not, please correct me. And so we're going from pick 1 to 32, 4 teams a week, and we're going to have our own mock draft of what we think teams should do. So we're going to pull up the screen here. You'll see what we did with the first 4 picks. Then we'll go through the next 4. So let me share my screen. We want mock draft share. Sweet. Let me get. Sorry, this is. So as you can see, with the first 4 picks, we went Caleb Williams to Chicago, Jaden Daniels to Washington, Drake May to the Patriots, and sorry, Titans glide. We took Joe Alt off the board already and sent him to the Cardinals. So on the clock, Jim Harbaugh and the LA Chargers. And so they are a team that is in the midst of a rebuild within themselves. They've already had reports of them putting Joey Bosa, Khalil Mack, Mike Williams, and Keenan Allen all on the trade block, right? And I believe in the case of Mike Williams might ultimately be outright released if they don't find a trade home for him. So there's a lot of needs for this team because they're up against it on the cap. So I'll ask you, so we can look real quick. Let me get out of this, see if I can get to the overall. Hold on. There we go. So right now on the board, we got Marvin Harrison, we got Malik Neighbors, Brock Bowers, Rome Odunze, Cooper DeJean, bringing a revolution for the white cornerback. Byron Murphy at interior. So what do you think we should do here at pick number 5 for the Chargers?
So, the storyline is one of 2 things. It is, I got your Chrome hat. The storyline is one of 2 things. It's either Harbaugh's first draft pick being a buy, or it's Harbaugh, which I personally still think that Marvin Harrison goes instead of Joe Alt. So he doesn't have to, in our mock draft world right now. Or it's Harbaugh taking Malik Neighbors over Marvin Harrison Jr. because he's a Buckeye. So, because at this point, I'm not picking Brock Bowers here. I can trade down to get Brock Bowers. Nobody else needs tight ends, right? It's not a huge need for them right here. So what I'm doing is, if Marvin Harrison Jr. is available at number 5, to me that's a no-brainer. It just depends on how much go blue is left in Harbaugh.
So to be fair to Harbaugh, he has, when he was with the Niners, he did draft Buckeyes. He took Carlos Hyde in the 2nd round, running back out of Ohio State.
Come on.
I'm just telling you, he does have a history. Now, I think the thing that's interesting, I went and looked this up in advance of the show. Jim sometimes, at least as part of the brain trust, would sometimes zig while others zagged. And what I mean by that is, in 1 year, he took
others don't steal signs, and Jim Harbaugh steals signs. That's what you meant.
Allegedly, let me say. I don't know if he. Allegedly. Hilarious. No, so 1 year they had pick 30. This is the year they made the NFC title game with the Niners. At pick 30, they took a wide receiver named A.J. Jenkins out of Illinois. And if you go to yourself, who? Yes, that is the answer to that question. Yeah. He did not pan out. There were other players they could have had. And so it would not surprise me when you say, hey, if Marvin Harrison's there and he says, we want to take Rome Odunze or Malik Neighbors, it would not surprise me in the least if Jim decided to go in a different direction than what the conventional wisdom says. So, but we're not Jim Harbaugh, and we're not fools. We're taking Marvin Harrison Jr. Right. For sure. So that's number 5. Okay, Giants on the clock at number 6. So let me just say one last thing about the Chargers before we move on. The Chargers are one of those teams where reports are coming out that they are interested in moving back, trying to acquire more draft picks because, again, they're up against it on the cap. Those 4 guys that I named take up something like 40 or 50% of their cap as it is. And please, if I got that number wrong, please correct me. But they are high cap hits, and they're trying to rebuild their team. So With that being said, let's jump to the Giants. The Giants have a lot of needs, as you can see, according to Pro Football Focus. Quarterback, wide receiver, offensive line, defensive line. God, dog. I mean, just put all the position groups on there. Why don't you?
They don't have coach in there? You can't got one of those.
Yo, that shout out to Brian Daboll, man. I'm not gonna talk too bad. He did well the first year. The second year was not so good. And unfortunately, as you can see, the top 3 quarterbacks have already left the board. So they are in prime position, I believe, also to try to trade back to acquire picks if they don't, or maybe trade up, maybe to number 3 and
in
go
free
get
agency,
Drake
they
Mayer.
just added. I know defensive line. I know they just added defensive line.
Brian Burns. So they got Brian Burns.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. They traded for Brian Burns with Thibodeau. They'll have him there. Man, wide receiver. I mean, wasn't last year? They took Jalen Hyatt last year. Probably what? Was it second round or
second or third round?
Yeah. I know they do. I mean, they still need more wide receivers. At this point, I don't think we're reaching for JJ McCarthy. I think you trade back. I don't. There's no reason to try to pick JJ McCarthy here at 6, especially since the Falcons. I mean, I don't know if this is updated, but the Falcons no longer have a quarterback need.
True.
But you got the Bears. I don't know. I'm probably going to go. Who's the best available offensive lineman?
That's going to be Olu Fashanu out of Penn State. So let me go OT. Well, and gentlemen, please forgive me if I'm screwing these names up. But Talise Fuaga out of Oregon State. He had a really great combine. Troy Fatanu had a really great combine. J.C. Latham, Amarius Mims. I've seen Amarius Mims go top 10, by the way.
Really?
So, I mean, you have options, right? I think.
What are you thinking?
Oof. So it is important for the Giants to get this right because they have missed on offensive line recently. Evan Neal being one of those. He was let me be fair. He hasn't hit yet. He struggled. He was moved from tackle to interior because he was struggling so heavily. So it is truly important for them, whether they have the quarterback of the future on the roster or not, to try to make sure that they hit on the offensive lineman pick. If I'm going to go one, I'm not going to go Amarius Mims because I don't think he has 20 starts to his name.
Now, what about the DJ Turner? What about DJ Turner?
Wait. Oh, you're talking about defensive player.
Yeah, the Alabama kid. Is he high?
He's somewhere here. Let me keep going down.
Dallas Turner. That's his name. My bad.
Dallas Turner. Yeah.
Oh, he's an edge. I thought he was a linebacker.
No, he's edge. But technically they're all linebackers, so it's kind of weird. But anyway, I'm going to say let's go with best offensive tackle available, and I'm going to say Talise Fuaga from Oregon State.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that either. Boom.
All right, Titans Glide, if you're in the room. We've already So Titans Glide says Olu hasn't given up a sack in 2 to 3 years. So this is what we're going to do for you, Titans Glide.
Yes, we're taking Olu right now.
Right, we're going to.
Well, I was going to go offensive line anyway. I was going to go offensive line. I mean, now Traylon Burks. We're still not sure about him. On the wide outside. Who do they have?
They still have DeAndre.
They
got Chiggy at tight end. They have Chiggy Okonkwo. We talked about Spears. We talked about Pollard.
But they don't really have
see
wide receivers. They haven't.
They're not sticking out off the top of my head. Here, let me see real quick. Let me see what we got. Matter of fact, I'm gonna share this tab instead. Let me know if you can see it.
Yeah.
All right. So at wide receiver, they have someone named Chris Moore. I'm unfamiliar with your game, sir. Please forgive me. Yeah. I've heard of Kyle Phillips. They have someone named Mason Kinsey. Again, forgive me, sir. I'm unfamiliar with your game. And then Traylon Burks and Colton Dowell. My Lord.
Do they got another first-round pick? Do they got another first-round pick? Because they need them both.
Woof. So let me get Titans Glide input in here.
I think
Burks is done. Chris is on a 1 year. Oh, okay.
It's just hop.
I mean,
We
we might need to go Malik Neighbors. Listen, we might have to go Malik Neighbors. Yeah. We got to give Will Levis another weapon. So let's go Malik Neighbors, man. Wow.
The question would have been, would we have went Rome over Malik? But
you know what? I probably moved a little bit too hastily there. Yes.
Yeah.
I personally think Rome Odunze is wide receiver 2.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a lot separating him and Malik there, right? So I mean, it's like a 2A, 2B situation.
Yeah.
But I personally am a fan favorite of Rome. All right. So last one, and we'll be done with the football. We can jump into battle rap. Atlanta Falcons, QB's no longer in need. Wide receiver, edge, and cornerback. So we can let's see if we can. We're going to add wide receiver and edge to the board so we can see what we got. So in terms of on the board right now, according to Pro Football Focus, Rome Odunze and Dallas Turner are the top 2 picks at edge and wide receiver. Then you got Jared Verse, Laiatu Latu, Brian Thomas Jr. So we're probably going to be picking between Rome and Dallas. What do you think the Falcons need more? Should they go wide receiver?
When you feel the need of quarterback, I think that they trust that Kirk is going to make some of these receivers better. We know Drake London is a starting wide receiver in the NFL. I don't know who they else have on the other side.
Hold on, I got you. We're about to share this tab for you so you can see it.
Oh, they got Mooney. I forgot they picked up Mooney. So they picked up.
They just picked up Mooney. Yes.
So the need for wide receiver is a little less. With the addition of Kirk Cousins and the bringing in of Mooney. So I'm probably gonna go defense here. I mean, you in free agency, you're making a lot of offensive acquisitions, and I think that normally leads to in the draft we're gonna bring in, we're gonna be a little defensive minded. So I'm probably taking Dallas Turner right here.
I agree. I think being reminded that they got Mooney. Yeah, I think we go edge here, and you give Raheem Morris a nice little asset to start his regime as the head coach. So,
and after watching what Will Anderson did last year, and Dallas Turner kind of being the same from the same mold or whatever, like it's just an easy pick to make from a drafting standpoint. If he can come in and be anything of what Will Anderson is, you're very happy at getting that. Even in the top 10.
Absolutely. So. Here we go. We've done the first 8 picks out of 32. Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, Drake May, Joe Alt, Marvin Harrison Jr., Talise Fuaga, Malik Neighbors, Dallas Turner. Those are our top 8 in our mock draft here. It's a Black and White thing. Y'all hit us up. Y'all let us know what y'all think. Who did we get this wrong? Should someone have been bumped up? Have we overlooked the player at a position of need for one of these teams? Next week, we got Chicago. We got Chicago again, the Jets, the Vikings, and the Broncos upcoming. So that has been our NFL football coverage. We appreciate y'all for tuning in. Let's jump into some battle rap now, man. Let's get into this. So